Game theory and non-alignment. India's position in the Russia-Ukraine war. Following the Russian invasion of Ukraine in 2022, NATO and its allies condemned the offensive as a brutal and unprovoked war of aggression, and called for an immediate ceasefire. The attack was seen as a violation of international norms. In response, NATO imposed sanctions on the Russian economy, banned Russia from the SWIFT banking system, and provided Ukraine with arms to counter the invasion. 2. NATO also urged other countries to join in condemning Russia's actions. 3. However, several countries in the global south chose a non-aligned stance. 32 countries abstained from voting on the United Nations General Assembly UNGA resolution condemning Russia's aggression. 4. Major economies like India and the United Arab Emirates (UAE) maintained neutrality, citing concerns of inflation, energy and food security, and disruptions to global supply chains. 5. This paper uses game theory to analyze the factors that inform India's non-aligned position, including domestic energy needs, supply chain challenges, military dependencies, diplomatic ties, and regional security concerns. Game theory helps study strategic scenarios where the actions of one player affect the payoffs of all others, shaping the outcome of the game itself. In this context, a subgame perfect Nash equilibrium (SPNE) model is useful. An SPNE model is applicable when players make sequential moves based on the strategies and preferences of other players. 6. A Nash equilibrium occurs when each player selects their best strategy, given the strategies of others, such that no player can improve their outcome by changing their decision. 7. In an SPNE model, this logic applies at every decision point, ensuring optimal choices at each step. 8. Backward induction is used to determine the best action at each stage, tracing payoffs from the end of the game to determine the optimal starting move. 9. The game tree for this model illustrates the sequential decision points, each leading to a subgame, culminating in one unique equilibrium strategy based on the payoffs. 10. Following Russia's invasion of Ukraine on February 24, 2022, NATO imposed a series of sanctions on the Russian economy, 11 pledged military aid to Ukraine, 12 and expelled Russia from the SWIFT system. 13. By March, these sanctions had reportedly frozen about $300 billion in Russian foreign exchange reserves. 14. And prompted Western corporations to cease operations in Russia. 15. Despite NATO's actions, Russia refused to withdraw from Ukraine. 16. On March 7, 2022, the ruble plummeted to 143 against the dollar. 17. In April, Russia offered discounted oil and fertilizers to countries willing to trade with them. 18. Throughout 2022, European countries continued purchasing Russian energy to meet local demand and prepare for the upcoming winter. 19. India's foreign ministry issued an official press release calling for an early cessation of violence, and offering to contribute in any way to the peace efforts. 20. However, India did not deliver an unequivocal condemnation of Russia. 21. In this analysis, we assume that India's response is driven solely by its strategic interests and security priorities, with no external influences affecting its decision. The three players in the model are India, Russia, and NATO. India's decision matrix offers three options: support NATO, support Russia, or remain non-aligned. India must determine its defensive strategy by evaluating the potential counter-responses from NATO and Russia should it choose to align with either side. To make the first move, India needs to assess its strategic security positions. Bilateral trade between NATO allies and India (NATO). The United States is one. Game theory and non-alignment.